Hello, it's Mira and Carrie, your favorite director duo. Hi. And we're going to talk today about leads generation. I'm going to go first. So I'm going to find my notes and go to solo layout, and away we go. That's not what I wanted. All right, there we go. Okay, so leads generation. This is definitely a topic that is near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to start out talking to you about the why. There's a video that by the time you are watching this will have posted in your group or in our group. It's a TED Talk by a woman named Keo Stark, and it's about why you should talk to strangers. And this is a video I've been using since I started teaching this class in 2016 when I first got this together for my unit for master consultant classes. I really recommend that you watch the video. It's really short, and I've also read her book, so you will love it. Okay, so the problem for leads generation isn't how. And I know you think, I don't know how to meet people. It's really why to meet people, why you should talk to people that you don't know. And here's some points from Keo's video. First, when you talk to people you don't know, it acknowledges their humanity. It also helps you use your sense of perception to hone in on whom you want to talk to. And you can make up a reason. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but one of the things that I came out of rewatching this video yesterday with was just the idea that it's good for my humanity. It's good for me and my personhood to connect with other people. And that's certainly been something that's been missing in the quarantine and pandemic era. And in fact, I was talking to a friend this morning who had mentioned that her 80-year-old mother, because she watches a lot of news and she's kind of old and she's kind of in pain, so she spends a lot of time at home. She's still terrified to go out because of all of the things that had happened, and she was surprised when her daughter made her go out and to see that people were nice and kind and friendly, and there wasn't rioting and looting and empty shelves and all the things, all the fear images that have been put on people in the last year. Now, one of the things that's going to make it easier for you to meet people is to have an ideal client avatar in place. Basically, a way that your subconscious mind knows what to look for. And next week, we're going to tackle that. I'm going to help Carrie build her very own ideal client and team member avatar. And you're going to get to watch along and follow along on that. That's going to help your brain know a little bit more who you are looking for. But I will talk to you about Mary Kay's target market. And let me go over that right now. So Mary Kay, the company, our target market has these 6 qualities: women, 25 to 60, married, coupled, or have been, homeowner, or have been, some college or post-high school technical education, has children. Now, you don't need to be all of these things, but the reason why this is in place is that the more of these qualities that your customer prospect, or the lead that you have, or even the customers that you have possess, the better suited they are overall for the Mary Kay product and for the opportunity. Now, 3 plus qualities is ideal. If you're working outside the target market, it just means that you're going to have to work a little harder to get the same results. And I think that even if you start in working outside the target market, make sure that you're focused on gaining leads inside the target market and inside your ideal avatar. And when we get to the avatar training, I think it'll be really interesting for you to understand that we're not pre-qualifying and we're not being judgmental of people. We're just helping our brain select a little bit more. So last week when we were talking about booking and coaching, I clumsily tried to get through the 4 types of leads. So there's 4 types of leads. There's people that you've met before. There's people you haven't met. There's people who you approach, and there's people who approach you. And I want to stress about that what I've learned particularly in the last 5 years in Mary Kay, really been the last 8 since we've been here in Boise, and I was restarting my business from scratch with a newborn in a new city with limited energy and limited time and limited babysitting, childcare resources because Richard was in school full time and had just recovered from breaking his leg. You want to focus on quality of leads over quantity, because if you're getting the right target market and you're getting a good quality, you don't need as many leads. So, Carrie, let's talk about, let me get us both on here again. Okay. Let's talk about some of the ways that we have gotten leads in the past. So what are some of the ways? I don't know. I mean, we've done everything. So, I mean, this could be like even the ways that were like hilarious and that we would never do again. But
exactly. I think we've tried it all. I have had booths at fairs. I've had bridal booths. I've had a contract with David's Bridal. I've purchased leads from different companies, and I know you have too. Leads are worth purchasing, if you're wondering that. Yeah. And of course, you get free leads when you're friendly. If you know how to talk to people, that's for free. And so there's what we call warm chat in Mary Kay, and not everyone is comfortable with that at first because they're not used to that. If that scares you, get used to smiling at people. And then after you smile at them, get used to saying hi to them. And then after you get used to saying hi to them, have a conversation. And you work into it, right? You work into it.
Right. Well, and I think
go ahead.
The Keo Stark video, we were chatting about this, that the dogs and babies principle is always great. You can always talk to someone's dog or someone's baby. And that goes both ways, because if you have a dog or a baby, you can, people will approach you, and that gives you a little bit more of a way to connect with them socially first. So let's talk about the warm chat, or, the people that you don't know who you're approaching people. Like, what are some of the conversation starters that you have used in the past?
Okay, so I can walk out there without a business card. I talk to everybody. I'm just used to being very friendly. And I realize that when you're new, I call it the white feather. You know, when Dumbo needed a white feather to fly, like he could really fly without it, but with it, he knew he could. And that's what I like to tell new consultants or someone that hasn't done this, to hand something out, because it helps you. Personally, if I was out and I was in the supermarket and I see a beautiful woman, I would walk up and say, "You're absolutely beautiful. I would love to ask you to be a face model." And then she just starts asking what a face model does. It's that easy. If you're not there yet, I totally understand. It's something that you work into. So we have lots of ideas. You can hand out chocolates, roses. My favorite is this wooden rose because it's inexpensive and 9 cents maybe online.
Right.
And I just take a bunch of them and say, I go to places where they're not busy, like a hotel lobby. A woman is just sitting there putting in her time. She's not really busy. And that would be a perfect place to walk in when you're new with your roses and say, "I am here honoring working women today in behalf of Mary Kay. I am a Mary Kay beauty consultant, and I would like to honor you." And you hand it to them, and guess what they do? They start telling you what they know about Mary Kay. It's that easy.
Yeah.
Now you can ask her to be a face model at this point, or you can say you're holding a drawing and give her a 2-part ticket. You know, the tickets that you rip in half for raffles? Give her a raffle ticket, keep half, and tell her you're giving away free product and facials.
Right.
And of course, you're calling everybody for the free facials, and you could give away a satin hands to one of the winners. You decide what the product is. I've done this in restaurants. If you go to a restaurant, talk to the hostess and go when it's not a busy time. So I would go at 2:00 after the lunch rush and before the dinner rush and say to the hostess, "I'm honoring working women today. How many women are here today that work in this restaurant?" And she'll tell you. She'll count them up and say 8 or 9. Count out 9 roses.
Right.
Give her 9 tickets. And you say they all get a rose. And if they want to be in the drawing, make sure they get one of these. Now, I need their name and phone number on the half that I'm keeping. Because I need to contact them.
I used to do, when I was a very new red jacket, I would do that. I would offer to meet a prospect at a restaurant at a certain time. And I would go in and I would do that. I would come out with 10 names I would pick up the check, which was a particularly good flex if her husband was there. He's like, this chick is picking up the check. Okay, we're doing Mary Kay, at least for a while. And that was it. It has been something that's been really good for me. And I think if you're somebody, no, well, even if you're new, you know, people who work at offices or work at businesses or work, you know, at a restaurant, and you can talk to them and find out what the best times are. You can get a little inside information to start with. So they know that you're coming. So you can definitely pick any restaurant, or you can, if you have people who in your life who work in offices, restaurants, doctors' offices, find out from them, you know, what would be a good time to do it, because office people particularly, I feel like all the people in service right now are kind of getting the short end of the stick and being appreciated all. And I've been talking to my servers the last couple of times we've been out, and they'll be like, sorry, it's so slow, we're short tonight. And I was like, that's okay. We're here. Our glasses are full. You're doing a great job. Particularly if I can tell that they're kind of new. I want them to know that they're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's a good end. So we've talked about basically noticing activities, which that's always a good, when you're trying to talk to people you don't know, you notice something about them and you comment on it. Or one of the other suggested strategies by Keo Stark was triangulation. There's you, there's the person, and there's a third thing. There's somebody wearing funny clothes or preaching in the street, or who dropped a tray, or who did something, you know, noteworthy, or the television that's on while you're sitting in the doctor's office or something like that, or how long it's taking, or what the weather's like. There's all kinds of ways that you can triangulate to start an organic conversation that can be a good way to warm yourself up to more warm chat type of activity, or that could organically lead you into a way. And like you said, handing things out, doing skincare surveys, doing a scavenger hunt, handing out, and the wooden roses are great because you can carry, you know, 6 or 7 in your tote bag, and you can just have it and be like, oh, hey, I wanted to get, you're so nice, let me give you this. You know, thanks for being friendly today.
Because it's not an all or none. When we were buying live roses, you better hand them all out, right? Mm-hmm. And this is something that she can keep. And we got to where we were taping on our name and phone.
Okay.
Product reorder label on this rose.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. In fact, I need to get the link from that because I need to try and, I think we started to order it and then the world, you know, fell apart. Yeah, we did a great training on it though. Okay, so multiple approaches. Okay, so let's say one of the things you want to do when you're doing lead generation, you want to try multiple approaches at the same time. You don't want to only be handing out roses or only asking for referrals or only putting out a fishbowl in a business where you have gotten permission to do that. And the Working Women's Appreciation. So here's some interesting things about taking lead generation online, because I've grown my business quite a bit over the last couple of years using these same principles, but using them online. So social media, which I know that a lot of you are like, well, I don't really know what it does. What does it do? It's not giving me a lead right away. Okay, basically, those social media pieces that I created and posted 2 and 3 years ago, those are basically like fish bowls that live out there forever. People are finding me today based on things that I posted on Instagram during 2020 and 2021. And so that's pretty neat. And that's part of the reason why I've been working really hard on getting it to a certain number of likes on my Facebook page so that I can get into different algorithms. And, you know, even the Working Women Appreciation group, I'm part of a gifting group right now that's a local just group of women who have all, you know, invited friends, and we do like a basket exchange if you sign up for it, and they do brunches and there's giveaways, and we did Wish Wednesday yesterday, and you put your 3 wishes and you grant someone's wish. So I sent somebody a Panera salad for their lunch, you know, and somebody's sending me a surprise, you know, stuff like that. So right now, this week, I'm the featured business. They feature anybody who has a business, or anybody who works for a business that does service, that's looking for clients, can, post during the week about their business. Right now, I'm the featured business. So I'm handing out roses, virtually to all of these people. Now, some of these people are already consultants in my unit, or they're already beauty consultants, and that's fine. I'm still going to, include them in the satin hands drawing at the end of the week, different things like that. I want them, I want to be able to participate. But right now, I'm putting out information about Mary Kay. And I think the main thing about online is that it's going to be more points of contact to follow up. I know that a lot of you who have seen a lot of different director training have seen the sheets that have all the different things on it. And basically, that's points of contact or layers of relationship that you've put in. The online leads require a little bit more of that. There's fewer, you have a lot more people who are interested as opposed to, a lot more of the 3% bleeding neck, ready right now type of leads. But it's really fun because you put in the work, you create the content, and it just lives out there. And then people like it and share it. And then when you get asked to do something like what I'm doing, I've got a whole library of stuff that I can share. That's really fun. And it takes me so little time to put together something that's amazing, that will profit, be profitable for me into the future. Let's see if there's anything else in my notes. Well, okay, so here's one thing that just happened to me. Two people, this just happened to me this week. One of the people in the gifting group, I posted my first video and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to meet you, and drop your name and address if you want to get a sample packet, because I still have glam packets and pink love packets made up from the choir. And one of the people in the gifting group said to me, they're like, oh my gosh, I've been following you since 2020 on YouTube. I didn't know you lived here. That's amazing. I can't wait to meet you. She knows who I am from YouTube. What? That's amazing. So, the cool thing is this person is somewhat familiar with Mary Kay. I don't know it to what extent, but I know for sure that when I get together with her, she already knows, likes, and trusts me. I've already done all the work online passively to get her attention. And then someone else who apparently has been following me for 2 years and joined my VIP group last year contacted me, and she's like, oh my gosh, my consultant just quit. Can I be your customer? And she came over and spent like $200. And it was so great because I didn't have to impress her or get her, and it's not necessarily just people. So people who are looking for a beauty consultant, which there's a lot of that in my area because there's a lot of people moving in from out of state still. And, Utah is definitely the same. I feel like Colorado is the same. I mean, Atlanta is definitely the same. There's a lot of places that there's a lot of people moving to. And the other thing is that as really tenured directors and, national sales directors die and retire, there's a lot of people who need to be picked up who don't have a client base. I don't know. So Carrie, what's one of the most interesting ways that you have met someone who's gone on to be significant in your unit?
I would say I've met a few people in my pink Cadillac. You hear that saying, success breeds success, right?
Yeah.
My husband was at a park with the kids and they had an activity, and a lady ran up, who has the pink Cadillac? And he thought someone had hit the car. So he was a little stressed, like, oh, and no. She just wanted a brochure. She needed to know where to shop. Another time in the pink car, I'm in the rain at the grade school and a Chinese man is pounding on the door. And I thought, oh my heavens, have I hit someone? I was so scared. I rolled down the window and it was a makeup Mary Kay emergency in the rain. They're from China, and it led to a friendship that I still have today with some Chinese families. So, I know you're thinking, oh, well, that's because she's got the pink car. Well, get some stickers on your car. Let people know who you are, because they will find you.
Yes.
They will
Having
find
my
you, so.
Yeah, having my name on the back of my Suburban helped. Right now, the Tesla windshield is not right for that same kind of sticker. It's like the wrong dimensions. So, but I have a cute little sticker that I had made that says, "I love my Mary Kay." So
Oh,
that's
perfect.
out there on the sticker. In fact, I have some of those, and I need to make sure that you guys all get one. I like the old Mary Kay stickers, but these are bright and pink. And actually, I saw them at Jacksonville Career Conference last year and had them made by my little sticker guy in Honolulu. So,
That's awesome.
okay. All right. Let's see. So the way that I have been meeting people lately is I have been meeting people through social occasions and friendships that I already have. So this kind of leads to the question that I know your unit members posed to you, Carrie, is how do you get people to give you referrals? And I think that part of it is that for me, I'm just really fun to hang around with. And I like to do a lot of social things. And I think part of it is, and you know, I know some of you might be saying, well, I'm not as fun as Mira. I don't have as much free time. But the thing that I have that makes me fun and easy to talk to is that I am really authentic. And what you see is what you get, like it or not. If they don't like it, I lump it in another pile. But I think that's really the thing is that there's even been some people who I know I have hit, like, there's somebody that I know through Junior League who, when I first met her in my first committee placement, we did not hit it off. And I ended up telling somebody on the nominations committee, they were like, oh, well, do you want to work with her as her co-chair? And I'm like, nope, she's terrible. Not gonna do it. And I was real honest with how I felt. And she's somebody who I have an appointment with next week. And she's been part of, we sort of buried the hatchet and, kind of figured out what it was that we had done that was sort of hitting each other the wrong way. We're very similar. I know you're shocked by that. We're both Tauruses. So shocked by that. And, she's somebody who I can already see becoming a really close friend. I mean, we have grown in our friendship. When I told her I was taking on the Diamond Power Start, which I am 15 faces away from finishing, despite having a very slow start to January. I contacted her immediately and I was like, hey, I'm in this challenge and I'm doing this challenge in solidarity with a unit member who's working to go on target for her car. Would you be willing? Because I know she's been in my group. She's, we see each other at Junior League events all the time. And I just said, hey, would you be willing? And she's like, yeah, can you come to my house? Can my daughter, who's a little younger than Charlotte, who's like 9, can she? And I was like, absolutely. And she's like, awesome, done. And, and that was probably, so that's probably the way that I've been doing it. In fact, I got through a huge number of faces last week, basically by doing nursing home facials, because my client is the medical director at this nursing home. I went to 3 different Valentine's parties and handed out facial bags. And it was good because there were a lot of people. There are people who I didn't know at all. There were people who I knew slightly, and there's people who I knew pretty well because on my committee or had been on my committee for Junior League before. And then I got invited by one of my friends to somebody else's Valentine party at their home on Saturday night. I spent 6 hours with some of the most amazing women who I already have, in common friendships with, that were like, oh my God, so-and-so, how do you know them? And, I asked a friend, I was like, I need to do a lot of faces. I need to do your face. And then I'd like to have some referrals. And she's, why don't you come with me and bring goodie bags and bring a little, display, like 5-minute thing that you can do. And I was like, awesome. So it was a party, but it wasn't really a party. Does that make sense? So I think sometimes we get a little too in our heads about it needs to be the way that Gloria Mayfield Banks would do it. And so professional, and you have to be wearing certain clothes and you have to be whatever. But I think really when you're looking for leads, you go out and be authentic with people and you talk to them and connect with them, which is the most important thing for our humanity. And then just keep reaching out and following up and being like, hey, I like you. I want to be friends. So, and how flattering is that to have somebody who's awesome, who's like telling you that they want to be your friend. So, okay.
Absolutely.
Is there?
I have a script for, I got the question specifically. You have clients that buy the product. They don't necessarily want a facial, but they're your clients. So they would be a great source of referrals. How do you ask them? What do you do? I put together a little script that I'm going to read so you can hear it. We can post it.
Yeah.
I'm in a contest to put Mary Kay on 30 Faces. I'm offering complimentary facials with an awesome gift for anyone with referrals. I know you just want to purchase the products. I'm happy to offer you the awesome gift for referrals, even if you aren't having a facial. So do you know anyone that loves makeup, skincare, or would just be a great face model, or they just need a break and would enjoy being pampered?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm
somebody
going
who
to
needs
ask
someone to
my
look forward
clients
to.
that way. And you know what's funny? Sometimes that when you're so excited, they actually change their mind about wanting the facial.
Well, and the thing is people want to be a part of your big goal. If you have them on your, like in your dream, like they know what your dream is, they know what your big goal is, they know that they're supporting you already by buying the product. But when you go to them and say, this is what I have, that this is how you can also, this is the way that you can also enroll with me in my goals. I love that. And, you know, because of the things we've learned during the quarantine and the pandemic about being able to connect with people via video and stuff like that, you can get referral. It's not just the people in their neighborhood. It can be their sister-in-law who lives in another time zone. So, amazing.
Yep. So really, we have the tools, ladies. We have all the tools. If you're not in the mood, check your environment. Check what you put into your brain. Shut off the media. I had to quit listening to the radio and watching the news when I was in DIQ, and all of a sudden I was in the mood to have bookings and I was happy every day. So check your attitude, work on your personality, and work on your belief level in this company and this opportunity, and you're ready to go.
Yes, definitely. It is a funny thing. People think, oh, well, mindset and all that woo-woo stuff. Here's an interesting thing. I've been studying mindset with Deb Erickson from the ICANN Institute for 8 years, and she's talking about neuroscience and the way that the brain works from a scientific point of view. Recently, I reconnected with a friend from my 20s who is looking at neuroscience and has been studying neuroscience from a spiritual side, from more of a astrological and energies and crystals side. And that's something that I'm open to as part of my spiritual practice because God made all of it. And it's been interesting how having those two things, like listening to those two things, has really expanded and opened my mind. And the thing is, when your mind is open to new things, when your energy is right and aligned, things happen for you in a way that feels magical, but really is mathematical. And I just encourage you to start out when you're going to go out, particularly when you go out to generate leads, take some time to think about the woman that, you know, the ideal person that you're trying to connect with, and send her your energy and send it out into the world, see what happens. Allow God's blessings to come to your life. So, is there anything else we should talk about? Because I talked about my two things. Oh, I guess online leads generation. All right. So the best way to cultivate leads is to have a VIP group on Facebook or on whatever form of social media you're on. I'm only familiar with Facebook because I got there kicking and screaming and now I'm here. Because like the woman who liked my page in 2020, but had a consultant, she was looking at my stuff for like what she should buy and the trends and stuff like that. And then her consultant quit. She joined my VIP group. And the VIP group is where you can put more of the sales and the deals and the specials, and you can talk to your people, because they're going to be, at first there's going to be a lot of people that you know, but you could be putting on a lot of layers of stuff in terms of video and content that's all that comes from other places that lives there. And that helps when those, even the people who you don't know very well, when they're ready to connect with you, they're going to be major players. In fact, I'm going to interview this woman, and I have a very strong suspicion that she's going to become a consultant because of what she's gotten from being in the VIP group. So I know that the online thing can feel a little bit exhausting. It can feel a little bit overwhelming, but start with a little bit on that, because that's something that you can utilize to work for you when you can't work. I mean, Carrie, can you even imagine if you'd had Facebook VIP group and social media stuff that was possibly managed by someone else, like the year that you were in the hospital, that you had the twins, like you probably would have been queen again next year, you know, I mean, from your hospital bed or whatever. But
I know the tools that you all have now, our retiring nationals are saying if only, right?
Yeah.
And
right.
The speed of business is so fast, and you still maintain a life outside your business. Right. It's amazing. It's amazing. Grab every tool and run with it. I mean, I'm going to date myself. I came in before I had a cell phone, and I remember adding orders up with a calculator and a pencil. Yep. And still got through directorship my first 6 months. You guys can do this. And I had my first car with, if you add a willing attitude to the tools that you have now, there you will be unstoppable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We can't wait to see. We're coming down to the end of it, and we're going to have your homework due. I'm looking forward to see who is going to be the winner for our mid session challenge that we posted in last week's video at the end. So you're going to have to watch the video to the end. And we want to have you start connecting with your director about your homework, about what you need help with. We'd love to have you guys all finish by March 20th so we can send you party packs for the online event that's going to be streaming live starting March 24th and going until the close of the seminar year. So make sure that you start making plans for your local watch party. So anything else?
That's it. We love you.
Okay. All right. Goodbye for now.